This year, not only resolutions but planned resolutions. But before explaining this topic, I would relate the question, the most common question of every English learner, that I can understand English well, but I can't speak English. So I gave up. This is reality that English learners can't stay with the language learning. They stop, they give up. And here lies the biggest problem. They can't continue. They give up in the very middle of their language learning. They lack continuity. And this lack of continuity disrupts their language learning. Another very common question and another very common problem is that every English learner tries to convince himself that he can understand English well. His comprehension skills are better, but he can't speak English well. First of all, if your comprehension skills are better, if you can understand the movies, the shows, the English novels, and 2 to 3 people talking to each other, it means that you can understand English well. But if you can't understand these kind of situations, these kinds of different kind of situations, it means that you have to have good comprehension. The fact lies that you are convincing yourself, but you are not comprehending, you are not understanding. You have to develop, you have to work on your comprehension skills. Now the point is clear that first of all you have to work with your continuity. You don't have to give up. Because at the very beginning of 2024 or at the beginning of every year, every English learner makes many promises, makes many resolutions. But they don't plan. If they can't proceed, if they can't get the required results, then what would be the next process? Would they give up this language learning? Would they not continue this language learning process? Then what would happen? Then what would be the process? Then what would be their action of plan? They don't think, they don't consider. That's why I say that. I say and I recommend to all my students and to all my subscribers, please, when you make different kind of resolutions, first plan your resolutions. That if you can't continue, if you give up in the process of language learning, then what would be the next action of your plan or plan of your action? What would be? Because sometimes and most of the times what happens that people leave this journey of language learning in the middle of their process. They can't stay with language learning, and it is fact, and you have to first of all admit that language learning, to acquire language learning, is not an easier task. It is a lifelong process. It doesn't happen overnight. You have to navigate, you have to utilize all your skills, you have to utilize all your methods and whatever is present before you to speak English well. First of all, this is your plan. This is your master resolution, planned resolution. You have to admit some realities, that it is the heavy amount of time you have to invest in language learning. Because if you invest heavy amount of time, it will return you in the gift of spoken English. So don't worry about the things you can't get. Don't worry about the words you forget. Because nothing matters in this process. Only one thing matters. And the thing which matters is staying active. Staying active. And to find and to devise the ways of enjoying the process, because outcome is not coming earlier. It will take time. When your outcome, when your result, when your productivity will come out, but you have to enjoy the process. You have to devise the ways. You have to search out for the exercises. You have to search out for the ways from which you can learn English well, and you have to plan your resolution that I will not leave this process. I will not leave this process. Continuity is the basic essence to learn this language. If I give up, what would be? I would get nothing. But if I continue, I would get the most beneficial effects of language learning in the form of my fulfillment of my dreams. So let me know in the comment section, are you just taking resolutions? Are you just making resolutions? Are you making planned resolutions? And you have to commit to yourself that I will continue this process. I will stay active. I will devise ways. However, I, I will have this process of learning English language as enjoyable as I can, because this is not an easier task. Remind your brain. Don't get demotivated, because if you get demotivated, you can't get anything. You have to stay motivated. You have to be disciplined. You have to be in the process of continuity. You have to repeat the cycle of reading, writing, listening again and again. And in this way, at the end of 2024, it would be the year of your success, fulfillment of your dreams. So with this positive note, I say Happy New Year, because it is the advent of 2024, and I wish you, all of you, Happy New Year. And let me know in the comment section, because we should celebrate each and every moment of our happiness. And this is a new start. This is like a spring. What is like a spring? It is a new year. New year means that it is the new life. You are going to give a new life to your spoken English. You are going to revive your journey. You are going to revive your energies, revive your strengths. Feel energetic, feel powerful, that I am going to start a new life of learning, a new life of hope, where there would be a continuity, where there would be not a gap of any kind. I would stay active with all this positivity, with all these new hopes, with all this new life. You should start and say everyone Happy New Year, and let me know in the comment section if you like to say me Happy New Year.